Something serious is happening inside Russia right now. It's so big and dangerous that it could completely change the war in Ukraine. The Kremlin is in panic mode. Officials are rushing to hide what's really going on. For 3 years, Russia has acted strong and confident, laughing off talk about collapse and saying it could fight forever. But behind the show, the system that keeps Russia going is falling apart. This time, the damage is too big to hide. And this isn't just rumors or Western propaganda. The warnings are coming from Russia's own leaders and its economy. If they're right, Russia is running out of time. For years, people have asked the same question. Why hasn't Russia fallen yet? How can a country under heavy sanctions, fighting a long war on many fronts, still keep its army supplied, its cities working, and its propaganda running? Many thought Russia's economy was stronger than expected, that the Kremlin had outsmarted the West. But that idea is finally breaking. The truth is simple but harsh. Russia has been spending a financial safety net that took almost 10 years to build. And now, Russia has kept its war going by paying soldiers high salaries and bonuses, offering money instead of only relying on forced drafts. It was a smart move by Putin because a draft could have caused protests at home. Big paychecks made war feel less like a duty and more like a chance to earn extra money. In cities like Moscow and St. Petersburg, life still looked normal. Restaurants were open, stores were stocked, and state media said sanctions had failed. To outsiders, it seemed like Russia had beaten the West's economic pressure. But it was always an illusion. The Kremlin wasn't safe. It was spending its reserves. Back in 2014, when Russia took Crimea, the West hit Moscow with sanctions. They hurt, but not enough to break the country. Putin paid attention. He knew that a bigger conflict with the West would bring far worse consequences. So, Russia began saving. Over the years, it built what became known as Putin's war chest, hundreds of billions of dollars in reserves meant to keep the economy safe under sanctions. By February 2022, when the full invasion of Ukraine began, that money gave the Kremlin confidence. Putin thought he could handle sanctions long enough to win quickly in Ukraine. If the war ended fast, leftover money could be used to reward Russians, showing war could pay off and setting up future campaigns. But things didn't go as planned. Instead of a quick win, Russia got stuck in a long war now entering its 4th year. The war chest meant for expansion has been used just to keep Russia afloat, and now many reports show much of that money is already gone. How do we know? The biggest sign is inflation. Countries don't go bankrupt like people because they can print more money, but that comes at a cost. Prices go up, and Russia is drowning in inflation. The Kremlin has tried many ways to stop prices from rising. Interest rates are sky high, so most people can't borrow money. Limits were put on exchanging rubles for foreign currency, trapping cash inside the country. Price caps were forced on essential goods, while the government secretly paid producers to stop anger from rising. But none of it hides the truth. Prices keep going up. Factories are short on materials. Farms rely on government help. Many industries survive only through state support. This isn't a normal economy, it's a war economy held together with tape, and the tape is tearing. At the same time, Ukraine has started hitting the heart of Russia's war system. In recent months, Ukrainian attacks on energy sites have grown. Not just symbolic strikes, but repeated, targeted, and damaging attacks. Oil depots, power plants, and refineries have been hit again and again until repairs are nearly impossible. The result is clear. Russia is losing the money it desperately needs. Energy exports were Moscow's lifeline, the last steady source of cash keeping the war going. Without it, the Kremlin is choking. This is why something major is breaking in Russia now. It's not just the battlefield. It's the economy, the system, and the foundation of Putin's power. The Kremlin claims the economy is growing and points to GDP numbers as proof sanctions failed. But looking closer, that growth isn't real. It's mostly government spending on weapons, ammo, and salaries, most of which are destroyed quickly on the battlefield. Even top Russian officials admit the cracks. The head of Russia's largest bank recently said there hasn't been a single major infrastructure project in over a year. No new factories, no innovation, no future. It's a fake economy built on war spending and destruction. The clearest proof came from Putin himself. He recently said the military budget would be cut next year because of economic strain, whether he actually cuts it or not. It doesn't matter. Just by saying it shows the problems are serious. It reveals three things. People feel the pain and blame the war. Discontent is rising. Even Putin can't ignore it. Cutting military spending shows weakness at home and abroad. Inside Russia, it could encourage opposition. Outside Russia, it shows the world and Ukraine that the Kremlin is running out of power and money. And the biggest danger for Putin is this. Without money, he can't keep paying soldiers. His plan to pay volunteers instead of drafting them fails if the money runs out. If he's forced to draft people, protests could explode. This nightmare scenario is coming closer. Think of it like someone who saved money for years. When the time came, they spent it recklessly, buying cars, eating out, living large. To outsiders, it looked like success. But behind the scenes, the savings were gone, income dried up, and collapse was inevitable. That's Russia today. Savings are gone, income is fading, and what's left is an economy addicted to printing money and pretending everything is fine. When Russia's money really runs out, the fallout won't stop at inflation. It will affect every part of the war. Soldiers without pay will refuse to fight. Factories surviving on subsidies will close. Ukrainian attacks on energy sites will cause blackouts and shortages inside Russia. The ruble will crash, imports will vanish, and as these problems pile up, Putin's grip on power will weaken. He's ruled through fear, money, and propaganda, but losing the financial weapon could mean losing everything. That's why experts say something major is breaking in Russia now. For years, the Kremlin tried to delay the inevitable, keep appearances strong, and convince everyone that collapse was impossible. But now, with Ukraine's attacks increasing, inflation rising, and Putin himself talking about budget cuts, the mask is slipping. Russia's economy is no longer a shield. It's another battlefield. Now we're at a point that could decide the whole war. For 3 years, Russia pretended it could outlast sanctions, attacks, and the West. But now the cracks are visible to everyone. Ukraine isn't just holding the line, it's hitting the heart of Russia's survival. Something big is breaking in Russia, and when it breaks fully, there will be no going back. For Putin, the Kremlin, or the war in Ukraine, this isn't just about numbers. Wars aren't only fought with soldiers and tanks. They're fought with money, resources, and the ability to last over time. Russia's war chest is gone. Its economy is stretched to the limit. Ukraine, backed by the West, is hitting the last supports holding it up. The question isn't whether Russia can win, it's how long it can survive before total collapse.